So you're saying blacks don't have the common sense to make good decisions for themselves?
A lot of people don't. I don't like
How about the black
whites
conservatives? They don't have the common sense to make decisions for themselves?
I would say that being a black conservative pretty much like categorically means you don't have much common sense, yeah.
To make decisions for themselves?
Yeah, at least politically.
And that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love calling Candace Owens a Nazi. She's pretty, isn't she?
Because she's black, she doesn't have sense enough to think and do for herself?
Oh, no. I call plenty of whites Nazis, too. Don't worry.
But Candace Owens is a conservative, and you just said conservative blacks don't have the common sense to think and do for themselves. So that's why you call Candace Owens a Nazi?
I think that a black Nazi probably is lacking some sense of self-preservation, but I call lots of folks Nazis, and I would say all conservatives probably lack in common sense. So don't worry, I ubiquitously distribute my dislike of conservatives,
and what
blacks,
is
whites.
In Candace Owens' situation, what is it about her that caused you to call her a Nazi?
That defending Hitler stuff was pretty out of left field, let me tell you, because she said everything Hitler did within his own borders was fine. It was when he had ambitions abroad that when the trouble started.
And
but
why is she a Nazi for agreeing with that? I was saying that. I didn't hear her say it, but why is she a Nazi for having her own opinion?
Oh, I mean, the Nazis did have their own opinions too.
But why is she one, as a black conservative, why is she one for having her own opinion?
I think that white Nazis are also bad.
I'm talking about Candace Owens now.
Oh, that she has every right to express her opinion. I have every right to call her very mean names for expressing those opinions.
Do you hate black conservatives?
I hate conservatives. Do I hate black conservatives?
How about black ones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I do love all people, but I hate black conservatives and white conservatives.
Why do you hate black conservatives?
I hate all conservatives, but black conservatives, because they have the gall of being conservative while having experienced more apropos than any other group in this country what it means to be under the heel of a white supremacist state.
Okay, what I try to be quiet while I was listening to him just to get a feel. You know, I like to read the room before running my mouth. Okay, Vaush, it seems like he has studied a lot of politics before. He has thoroughly taken a stance on the left, and anyone that takes a stance opposite of him, because he kind of feel like he's always right. He kind of feels like he's always right. And he automatically assumes that the left is for African Americans. And if you are an African American and you are for the right, then you're in the bed with the oppressor, pretty much. That's kind of interesting. I'm going to listen further before I say anything else. I try to slow walk my experiences, my conversations about people who are, you know, well-versed in politics or seasoned in politics. But I will say, so far, he couldn't be further from the truth, believing that black people are where they should be as long as they are Democrats. And that right there shows his naivete. Hopefully he's playing. He might be, you know, being sarcastic right now, but let's finish checking him out and see.
It seems to me they're the ones who should have the greatest interest in voting against it.
Do you believe that America has always been a white supremacist state?
Since day one.
How is it that when I was growing up, under the Jim Crow laws, on the plantation, that black people did better than they are today? They had families, they got married, abortion was unheard of, they bought land, they built businesses, they became professionals, they went to college, those that wanted to go, and they did very, very well. If America is a Nazi country, why were blacks able to do better then than they are today?
Because white folk got more clever. Yeah, back in the day, the way they discriminated against blacks, all on the books. Black people can't use this school, this water fountain. Nowadays, they're much more clever. Drug war, systemic deregulation of certain industries, stripping funds from ghettos. That way, you keep the blacks in line, but you do it without a single racist law in the books. And things have gotten worse, you're right.
What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves, because they were not like that prior to, after the civil rights movement. What is wrong with black people that they allow themselves to be kept in a certain place or used in that way today?
Hold on, before you say anything, I just wanted to say how discriminatory that comes off taking money from ghettos. Taking money from ghettos, bro. And black people ain't the only people in ghettos. So when you say when the government takes money from ghettos, ghettos are already lacking money. That's what make them ghettos. If they put money into ghettos, then it becomes a suburb. You know what I mean? It's already a ghetto. It's already a hood. It's already a place that's a project, so to speak. And of course, I've heard many different things about projects. The reason why it's called a project is because it's a project. We're trying to see what happens. Cram as many people over there, lack of resources, and see what happens. All right. And he said, because the white man got more clever. I believe that too. I believe that to be true. I believe that the people of old who were used to a certain way of doing things got a little clever, and they started saying, okay, we need to do this in a better way, so it not be completely out there like that, but something that he's not giving any attention to. Or, well, he's not saying something that he's not saying is that it was the Democrats who had their foots on the necks of black people more than Republicans did back then. And hopefully he'll point that out at some point. But I'm just patiently waiting, man. Again, I'm here just to learn.
I don't think there's anything
Because
wrong
they
with
did
them.
not allow that prior to the civil rights movement. What's wrong with them, the men and women in the black families and black community, that they allow that to happen to them today?
That's kind of like asking what a wife did to deserve getting beaten by her husband, don't you think? I don't think they did anything wrong. I think they were the victims of an abusive
But
system.
what is wrong with them that they can't overcome circumstances as everyone else are doing?
I mean,
what is
because
wrong
they're
with
targeted
the
against
blacks?
them.
What is wrong with them that they can't overcome the target against them?
It's because conservatives in government hate black people. So they very specifically target black people when they're looking for ways to
Do you
discriminate
hate black
against
people?
minorities. I love black people.
Okay. Conservatives and government hate black people. Okay. I need to check out more of this dude's stuff, because he don't sound that smart to me. I'm sure he's intelligent, but people who believe that they know every damn thing, and he's sitting right across from a black person, and he's saying they, as if he's not talking to a black person. And then he's saying that conservatives hate black people. You're talking to a black conservative and you're saying conservatives hate black people. Bro, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Every single urban community that's overtaken by crime and all those things are in blue states. Please explain that to me, how they're being shown all this love that they should be shown in these blue states. How are we being showed all the love that you believe we should be showed by the Democratic, majority? I mean, seriously, that's my question, because he seems so sure of himself and knows absolutely nothing. See, this is the one thing that research would get you. It would get you placed in a position where you look foolish, because all you're doing is regurgitating information that you've read one-sided, and you've never really addressed the situation as a whole to fully understand what's going on. The Democrats are not helping the black people at all, and you call that love?
You aim to do so
get
well,
that.
and they are not.
Well, for one, I was born to upper middle class parents. I was born in Beverly Hills. I went to an incredibly good school district. I was able to get funding from my parents to help me with my education. I had contacts with
Why
my
not
parents'
recommend that for them instead of
I don't know if I
making
can
them-
recommend they get born to upper middle class parents, but
Oh, you can't recommend that they, because most of the children, 70% of black babies born out of wedlock. Is that good for black people?
And then you can also, if you're born upper middle class white man, and you've had all this help and free schooling and everything, why do you have on a USA flag shirt and act like you're extremely knowledgeable of black people and what they've gone through, when you have absolutely no clue whatsoever? where do you get your information, bro? Where do you get your information? Because that right there, just even your upbringing, and then you come back down to, okay, so since I've gone that way, this right here shows why I'm an expert when it comes to black people and what political side they should be on. That's ridiculous.
No, not at all.
Does it hurt them?
Oh yeah.
In what way?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. If you're a single mother raising a kid, statistically more likely for them to commit crime, for them to be locked up in jail, lower household income. Absolutely, it's
So
a huge
why
problem.
not recommend that they overcome that? Stop doing that.
I do, and I by the way, I vote for systemic changes that'll make it more likely for them to stop doing
What
that.
is a man?
I think a man is someone who identifies as one.
And what is love?
I think a man is someone who identifies as one. Yep, you're foolish. And I knew it. I knew you were foolish, bro. I knew it. As soon as I heard you say that, I was like, okay, all right. See, you just confirmed that you're foolish. You're just gonna see that quick. You just confirmed how foolish you are. A man is one that identifies as one. What? Idiot.
Do I want to go edgelord on that? I think that love is an evolved, socialized form of a chemical we experience that drives us to breed.
What is a Nazi?
I would say that a Nazi is somebody who believes in white supremacy, who believes that an international cabal of Jewish people are using immigration from the third world to propagate sort of the destruction of the white race.
Are you white?
I am.
Are you Jewish?
I am not Jewish.
But you're
I've
white.
been told I'm Jewish.
And so are you a Nazi?
I am not a Nazi.
And what made you not? Why is it that you're not a Nazi? You're white and you live well, and you're doing well, you live in Beverly Hills.
I love black people.
Why is
so-
it that you don't love black people?
I do.
No, you don't, bro. You don't. You're condescending toward black people. You don't understand how ridiculous you sound when you're trying to take up for black people. You sound ridiculous, bro.
I love
No.
black people. I love them,
You
and I
hate
love
black
you.
people.
I love black
No.
people. Why would I hate black people?
Because you recommend the worst for them instead of the good.
Yep.
But we agree.
But let me
We
ask
should
you, why
encourage
is it
them.
that you're not a Nazi?
Well, I grew up with parents who were pretty liberal, so maybe if I'd grown up with Nazi parents, I could have been a Nazi. Also, I grew up in a very Jewish neighborhood.
And tell me again, what is a Nazi?
I would say a white supremacist who believes that the Jewish people are orchestrating a conspiracy to destroy white people.
And what is a white supremacist?
Somebody who believes either that white people are superior than other races, or that they should orchestrate some kind of society that prioritizes white people as like an in-group preference kind
So
of thing.
Louis Farrakhan believed that blacks are superior to whites.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
And that he wanted a state with just
Mm-hmm.
blacks only. And there are other black people who feel that way too. Are they black supremacists?
Oh yeah, no, I don't like those people at all.
They're no different than a white person who think that way?
They're pretty much in the same ballpark, yeah.
There are Mexicans who feel that way too, about that they are better than any other race.
I've never met a Mexican supremacist.
But there are Mexicans who think they're better than whites and blacks. Are they Mexican supremacists?
I admit, I've never met them. They probably do exist, though. Yeah, they'd be Mexican supremacists. I
And
hate
so
those guys, too.
this idea of men and women who are in the fallen state believe that they're better than the other person. So anyone who feels that way is a supremacist, right?
No, it has to be a categorical racial thing. Like, for instance, someone
Why
who's
does it have to be a categorical racist thing?
Well, there are
racial
some
thing?
people, like, for example, my girlfriend in the audience probably likes me more than you just because I live with her, right? But she doesn't believe that I was endowed at birth because I'm white with
I
a
bet
higher
she believes
intellectual
she's better
capacity.
than you.
Maybe.
Is that supremacist?
No, because it's not a racial sort of construct that she's expressing that supremacy for.
So it have
I
to
think
be.
I'm taller
What
than
do you
her.
mean by it has to be a racial thing? It means that any race that feel that they are superior to another race.
Yeah, I don't like it when
So
people
Louis
feel...
Farrakhan and Jeremiah Wright Jr. and all those people who hate the Jews and hate the whites, are they black supremacists?
Yeah, they're basically black Nazis. I mean, they've gone right around the other side. But
And are
yeah.
they black supremacists?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't like those people.
I'm sorry?
I don't like those people at all because I love black people, and I think that they harm black people.
That they harm black people?
Yeah.
In what way?
I think that a lot of people, when they want to think of radical black activism, I want to think of stuff like Black Lives Matter or institutional reform to the prison system. But when they do their reform, Louis Farrakhan, what have you, they make people think that black radical reformists are like crazy black supremacist, like Wakandaites. And that's not what I'm here for. That's
Do
not
black
progress.
people have the right to complain about white people what they have done and what they are doing, do they have the right to complain about white people?
Yeah, free country.
So black people have the right to complain about whites, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what gives them the right to complain about whites?
I mean, I think, you know, freedom of speech. I think they have every right in the world to complain or express their grievances in a way that doesn't harm other people, you know.
And so are they black supremacists for complaining about white people?
Nah, I mean, hey, I complain about women all the time, but I'm not sexist against women.
I bet you're not.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And so black people have the right to complain about white people.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the right to hate white people?
I don't like it. No, I don't like hating racial groups. Even if you're like I wouldn't support like Jews hating Egyptian people back in the Prince of Egypt days either. I just don't like.
So do black people have the right to hate white people?
They have the right. I don't like it. They have the legal right to. I don't like it.
So black people have the right to hate white people?
Legally, yes. Freedom of speech.
And are they black supremacists for hating and complaining about white people?
I think you can hate somebody without thinking you're better than them. I don't know if I'd call them black supremacists for that.
So are black people black supremacists for hating and complaining about white people?
No, only if they think they're better than white people, like
So,
racially.
and they do think that. So are
Some of them
black
do.
people black supremacists for hating, complaining, and thinking that they're better than white
If
people?
they think they're better than white people, yes, absolutely, they're black supremacists.
Okay.
Yes.
And do they have the right to knock out white people?
Like
Remember the knockout game when
Like
they
get
were
'em?
walking up to black people, knocking them out?
I heard a
killing
lot of-
them.
I heard
do
a lot
they
of-
have a right to do that?
I heard a lot of scared white folk calling about them
Do they
knockout
have a
gangs
right-
on Fox News.
Do they have a right to do that?
You know, that's assault. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Probably
And
not.
are they black supremacists for doing that?
Probably at least a few of them.
You say yes?
Yeah, probably at least a few of them. I don't know if all of them are, but yeah, I'd say a few of them probably.
Okay.
If this even happens. I know Fox News complained about
No,
it
it
when I
does
was
happen.
like a kid.
And so you saying yes, they are black supremacists for knocking out white people, for hating them, for complaining about them, right?
Yeah.
They are black supremacists, right?
I think any time a black person says anything mean about a white person, they're a black supremacist and basically a black Nazi.
And when they physically attack white people, they are.
Right. So I'm still trying to pick out what this guy really represents. I'm just sitting back paying attention, you know what I mean, in the cut. Just trying to figure out what the gentleman represents. He seemed like he'll be fun. He seemed like a fun person. He don't seem that sharp mentally. He don't seem that sharp mentally. And that's not a slight. I'm not that sharp mentally. That's the only reason why I know other people when they're not that sharp mentally. He's not that sharp mentally. But he's trying, you know what I mean? He's clearly doing well enough where he made it onto Jesse Lee Peterson's show to sit across from him and talk alongside his lady friend that's out there in the audience as his fan, his biggest fan. Shout out to her. But I don't know. These questions are softball questions. I see what Jesse Lee Peterson is trying to do. I'm trying to get him to just take a complete like a stance, but they're just volleying back and forth right now. It's not anything of substance that's really happening right now, in my opinion.
Black supremacists, right?
Absolutely.
So why is it that white people don't have the right to do the same about the Jews? When white people complain about the Jews, are they?
They can be a white supremacist and hate the Jews.
So when white people complain about whether they're right or wrong, just like the black, are they white supremacists for disagreeing and complaining about the Jews?
It really depends on how they do it.
Are they white supremacists for complaining, disagreeing, and complaining about the Jews? Are they white supremacists?
No.
I'm sorry?
That was a mixed answer. I grew up with a lot of Jewish folk. I complain about them from time to time because some of them were real annoying.
So are white people Jewish supremacists for complaining and disagreeing with the Jews?
Sometimes.
Are white people supremacists for disagreeing?
Scott, I have to do the yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I see. Amazing. I love
Amazing.
it. Amazing. Damn. You know what? Let's go with yes. Anytime any group of people complains about any other group of people, I think that they're basically Nazis. I'm willing to take that road.
So the blacks are Nazis for complaining
Blacks,
and attacking.
whites, Jews, women, men,
So
we're all
blacks are
Nazis.
Nazis.
Okay, this is silly. You complain about somebody and you're a daggone Nazi. That's just ridiculous, man. And the young man had many opportunities to shut me up, because I'm like, I think the guy is ridiculous. Based off of him saying what he said earlier about black people who are conservative, that's just ridiculous. That's dumb as hell, actually. Yeah, that was stupid. But you know, people have their own ideas based off of what they've learned and what they've observed, but clearly they've shut off their minds to those black people who have expressed that they are in a better place and feel like they now understand that they have more freedom and liberty in being a free thinker and really understanding what the system is all about. Everyone talks about systemic this and systemic that, but the same people that talk about that are big fans of Democrats, which I don't understand, because if you look at urban communities, everything about urban communities are systemic. When you look at welfare and where Planned Parenthoods are, and I mean, just the conditions alone and the resources that are provided to those areas, but yet you know who's providing all those same exact incentives for people to stay or get on and remain on public assistance, and the type of things that have to happen in order for you to get on public assistance. So for someone to be on the outside looking in while understanding how all this works, but yet want black people to remain in that type of condition under that same law, you cannot say that you love black people while knowing all these things. You cannot. It's no way you can. Not from my position, not from where I sit. Nah, not at all, man. And it's in black people too. I need y'all to understand that. It's like we vote to stay in the same situation we've always been in. Like, we always want things to be the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not getting any better, but we still vote so it can remain the same. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Please, if anybody's watching this and you want to break it down to me, I am here, all ears. You know what I mean? I'm listening. But everyone else, man, y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video and hopefully inside the Patreon as well. I'm about to go check out this Vaush channel just to see what the hell he's talking about.